Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here today in beautiful, well now cloudy. A little cloudy.
It's getting
a
one
little
way or
bit.
another.
There's some storms rolling in. We're here in Maryville, Tennessee at the lovely Smoky Mountain Shed.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson. Who doesn't like this?
I don't know.
No
People
one?
that aren't here.
People that aren't here, we're sorry you're not here. I'm here with none other than Scotty Bratcher.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Scotty is a guest this weekend with Charlie Starr and Blackberry Smoke at the Brothers and Sisters reunion show here at the Shed.
Yeah.
And it's my first trip to the Shed.
Mine?
It's Scotty's first trip to the Shed. We're live here at the restaurant, so people are coming and going. So if you hear them or see them, just wave and give a shout out to the Shed. We love the Shed.
Hey, good.
Hey, there we go. So
you.
I asked Scotty if I could interview him because last night I think might have been a full circle moment for you. Tell us what happened with you last night.
Oh, very much so. Well, it was three years and 1 week ago that Charlie and I met.
Okay.
In Nashville, doing a show for the Gibson Custom Shop. So for 3.5 years, or longer than that, I've been thinking, gosh, how cool would it be to, play a show with these guys? And then, it just all of a sudden worked out. The stars aligned, and Charlie asked me to sit in with him this weekend. So here we are.
Yes. I met Scotty. I think Trish and Eric are here today, everybody, from the Blackberry Smoke Brothers and Sisters fan club fame. And we had gone to a show, I think it was, Trish, 2 years ago in Covington. And this super cute young guy came in with a beanie on, and I was trying to steal it from him. I had no idea it was Scotty Bratcher.
With a black leather jacket. I mean, not that I was noticing him.
Not that we noticed he had a beanie and a black leather jacket.
That jacket is famous. That's my Led Zeppelin jacket.
Let me just tell you, ladies, he looked good that night. I was trying to steal his beanie. And then later he got on stage with the Danny Fraser band, and I was like, don't we know that guy? He had been at the pre-party, and so we've all been buddies since. So tell us about, I know you do, you have a solo career.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I see you play guitar, I'm mesmerized by your skills. Tell me about some of your influences in the guitar world.
Oh gosh, well, number one is Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Well, yes.
He died when I was a year and a half old, and I love telling this story. It's not really a story, it's just how I feel, but I was a year and a half old, and something about him, he wasn't a big guy, physically a big guy, but something about him, whatever was around him was so big that I knew at a year and a half old what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I have a year and a half old niece right now that you can't get her to pick her nose.
Right, you knew what you wanted to do.
I knew what my career was going to be, and
Right.
I've never really had a real job outside of playing music.
Yeah, you're a blessed.
Just something about him was just, I just knew.
Yes. And didn't you start picking up guitars when you were really young?
I was 2, yeah.
Wow.
I was 2 years old. I got my first one when I was a year old. My dad played a little bit.
Okay.
He played a little and showed me, the basics, everything I needed to get me on the right path to playing guitar. And so I had a guitar when I was a year old, and started playing when I was 2. And around 5, I was kind of picking little parts of songs out, and I could play them. Couldn't play full songs or anything. And then, by the 3rd grade, I was doing full songs at talent shows and trying to do that. So
right.
About 11 years old, I got a band together, and
wow.
the rest is history. Good or bad, it's history.
Yeah, and you're still young, so there's no telling what we're going to get out of you in the next couple.
I don't feel young, but my license says I am.
And you're a Halloween baby, I learned today.
Yeah, 10/31/87. 2 things came in 1987, me and White Snake Still of the Night.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Halloween baby. Do you have lots of Halloween things?
Yeah, no, I like horror movies.
Oh, okay.
But as far as, the holiday thing, I'm not a Christmas person, not a Thanksgiving person, not an Easter, 4th of July person. I just kind of exist in the holiday world.
Yes.
Kind of float
well, I
through
guess if you're born on one, you're just kind of like, yeah, it's a special day, but yeah.
Well, I don't get days off on holidays.
Right. Musicians never
get days off every day of the year except for holidays. Those are the only days I work.
That's so funny. So, you have been doing your solo career. You have some albums out. You have a new album coming out, correct?
It just came out this past fall, yeah. I think it was right before my birthday.
Yes.
I think the 21st of October last year.
There you go, 21st of October last year.
So, we called it That Album. Eric and I were talking earlier about how we came up with that name. There's a million different reasons.
Yes.
I mean, if you could think of a reason an album would be called That Album,
that would be the reason.
It's that reason.
It's that reason.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
So, yeah, no, my original plan for the album cover was to literally take masking tape and write that album on it. Like, this is it looked like we didn't care.
Yes.
We care a lot. It just looked like we did.
Of course.
But look at me.
Sometimes
I look like I don't care.
I wore a color today. And it's no one's ever seen me in green before.
But I'm colorblind. What color?
It's green. But it came out of the printer wrong. It's kind of a funny story, but anyway.
Tan as crap to a colorblind person.
It's whatever color you want it to be. So now you have a new gig coming up. You're playing with some pretty famous cats, I hear.
Yeah. Ozzie and Harriet. Everybody's heard of Ozzie and Harriet?
Yes.
Everybody's heard of Ricky Nelson?
Yes.
He had 2 twin sons, Matthew and Gunnar. And at one point they were the only thing in the rock and roll, the pop rock world.
Yes. They made quite a name for themselves.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. We have conversations often about, they've done 60,000 seat shows.
Really?
I'm lucky to get 60 people to mine.
Hey, last night you played to a couple thousand people who were really into it. And
I had to sit in with other people if I want people to hear
I got it. Yes. Well, you're quite the talk of social media today after last night.
Oh gosh, I couldn't be happier. I mean, it really.
What was that like for you? Like, I was filled with joy. Both, I can see you on stage with Charlie, knowing you're doing Deep Ellum Blues and you're on stage with one of your guitar heroes. I can see Trish and Eric right in front of me filming you and their joy. And then I'm coming unglued to see my friend Scotty Bratcher on stage with my buddy Charlie Starr. It was so profound for me. What was it like for you up there with one of your heroes?
I don't remember.
I can get that.
I mean, I spent the whole set, I think we were on stage for 7 minutes together or something. And the whole time I was sitting there, I was watching Charlie play. I was like, I'm still a fan. I'm lucky enough to get to sit in with him, but I'm still like, I am a fan on stage watching Charlie and Paul both play guitar.
Yes.
So it was cool.
A little surreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And was that one of your life goals and dreams
absolutely.
that came true?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I remember seeing those guys on TV the first time, and matter of fact, it was Danny Frazier, which was my whole life is that way. It's like one thing turns into another thing, and you can absolutely pinpoint where I'm at from one thing. Most of the time, whatever's going on.
Serendipity is a beautiful thing.
10 years ago, something happened to make that happen. It's kind of. But I called Danny Frazier, of all people, the night that I saw them on TV, and I went, Danny, this is the kind of band that we need to start. And then, of course, when I, met Charlie the second time, years later, after the Gibson thing, that's how we knew each other, was through guitars and through Gibson and things like that. Greg Martin is a great friend of both of us, and that's how I got in touch with Charlie after that show. And we just kind of emailed back and forth, but the first time we saw each other, we actually knew each other personally, was that show with Danny.
Oh, okay.
Which just makes it that much more ironic that Danny was the guy that I called and said, Danny, if we're going to start a band together, this is what we should sound like.
Right.
Of course, we never did, but that's life with Danny Frazier.
Yes. That's just
I
the
love
band
him
world.
to death, but we ain't never got anything done together.
Well, Danny, did you hear that?
Oh, he knows it. He'll tell you. We talk about all this stuff all the time, and we do. But that's all we do is talk.
Yes. Now, you've done the Charlie Starr thing. Tomorrow night you have a big gig in Nashville celebrating the life of our very famous St. Louis and Chuck Berry.
Yeah, Chuck Berry. So we're going to do it's kind of Nelson, but kind of this other thing that the Nelsons have started called the Stone Canyon Band, which is. It was Ricky Nelson's solo band. They did Garden Party and things like that. That was Ricky's solo project. And what's going on? It looked like the building.
I know. I was
Everybody's
like, wait.
looking around.
I was like, did we just get? Are we get?
I'm
funny.
that boring.
Behind the scenes.
I'm just that boring.
You're not
the
boring.
moth just flew
by.
We all
and
everybody got distracted.
Squirrel.
But so no, we're bringing back the Stone Canyon Band. We're not doing any of the old Stone Canyon Band songs, and this is a different interview for a different time.
Okay.
But the whole idea of the Stone Canyon Band is based around Ricky's idea of the Stone Canyon Band. So it has nothing to do with the music that he played necessarily, as far as the actual, written music that he played, but it has everything to do with the attitude that he went into that band with.
Got it.
So we're getting together and we're doing a Chuck Berry tribute at the Basement East on Sunday.
On Sunday in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Well, I just have to say, you know, there's guitar players that you see that you're like, oh, they're great. And then there's guitar players like you who, beyond the beanie and the leather jacket, when you went on stage that night, I know Trish and I were both like, oh my God, this kid can shred. And, you know, every time I see you, every time I hear a clip of you, watching you last night, I'm just mesmerized. You're such a good player.
Well, I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that.
I know you're humble and all that, but you're good.
I would never even think that about myself. I am a student, always.
Yes.
And I think the day that a person that plays an instrument quits being a student, they should quit.
Right.
Nobody ever knows
then
everything.
you're done.
When you're convinced
right.
you know everything there is to know, just give it up. Make room for the rest of us that do want to learn.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I try to be very humble with the life I've been granted.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for what I have and the things I get to do.
Absolutely.
You know, we're blessed.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Absolutely.
So, tell the people where they can find your music and your information online.
Well, currently, we are all over. Any digital outlet you can find music on, we're on those. Google and Amazon and iTunes and all that stuff. And then our tour dates, all that stuff are on the website, scottybratcher.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
He's everywhere.
Stuff, yeah, I do all of it, but I don't understand any of it.
Right. I totally understand that.
Tried to show me Snapchat, and I wound up with a picture of me on a sweater vest, trying to understand Snapchat. It was the most confusing thing I ever seen.
You won't find Scotty on Snapchat.
Oh, I'm sure I could share some. Just kidding.
Trish, on the other hand, and my daughter Bella, who are here, love some Snapchat. I don't get it either. I don't get it.
I tried to figure out how to share a picture of me and Charlie. No joke, we were in a sweater. Somebody had crocheted a picture of me and Charlie.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that.
It was a disaster.
Well, I just want to say it's such a pleasure to be your buddy and to know you.
Are you saying that seriously? You're laughing. Is it not a pleasure to be my buddy?
I just started giggling.
Is this for real? Does anybody actually work
Is this camera
here?
really on? No, I'm just kidding. No, I just started giggling. I don't know why. Scotty Bratcher, y'all. And thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate you talking to me.
And I would be remiss if, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but I just got a text that the great Greg Allman passed away today. And I know that there are lots of joy in heaven, but there's great sadness here on earth that we lost such a legend today, because we all love and respect that man. I know Charlie does. I know you do. I know Trish and Eric. I know we all loved him. So our hearts and our thoughts and prayers are with the Allman Brothers family and friends today as we mourn the loss of one of the greatest musicians of all time. So I just wanted to say that before we ended the interview.
Absolutely.
I'm Cheryl Swift, the Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here today at the beautiful shed in Maryville, Tennessee with none other than Scotty Bratcher. Blackberry Smoke will be in the house soon. The Dirty Soul Revival will be here tonight. We can't wait to get this rock and roll party started again tonight. I wish you all, Scotty wishes you all, peace, love, and rock and roll. Thanks, guys.